Shanti. O Lord, lead us from lead us from darkness to light and illumination. Lead us from death to immortality, and evermore shine in our hearts with your sweet and resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Oh, your microphone off. Okay, so we are, where we were? Who can tell me?
The end of 26, I think it's one.
Yeah. Okay. Where is so many books everyone purchased and took away? Where are these people? People are getting tired of listening to Vedanta. No, not you who are here. Okay. Okay, so we are on the chapter, first chapter. We have finished at verse number 10, which was on page 23. And the explanation ended on page 26. So, it's saying that the instructions which the Guru confers on the worthy student who is endowed with this passion. So who you should give this advice? To person who is really seeking for this. If you tell somebody who is not feeling any interest in this, if you say, it is a wastage of your energy, and also it is a botheration for the person whom you are teaching or you are talking about. If it is a subject of his interest, then it will be meaningful. So, the worthy student, who is a worthy student, this dutiful teacher will say that give this instruction, who is endowed with this passion. The student's quality, he has this passion for the mundane and his attraction for God, the eternal. And is verily the sole meaning of the scriptures and the uninterrupted experience of knowledge. Huh?
Sorry.
Okay. So that is the way. But now, why this advice? Because if we are Brahman, we are Atman. Why any advice is given? Yes, advice or instructions of the scriptures are meant only to instigate the spirit which is already in us. We have that in our capacity, in our willingness to know the truth. All the potential things are within. But still the Guru teaches. Why Guru teaches? The book is there enough. And in our understanding, we know God is there, finished. So why this advice from the Guru? That's why the 11th verse starts, the disciple's intellect, which is pure and penetrating and expert in subtle analysis, is surely the primary spiritual means or aid for the attainment of knowledge. What is the real power to attain this knowledge? We have said, O Lord, lead us from darkness to ignorance to light and illumination. Are God will do that only? God is doing all the time, but we are not feeling anything. Prayer should be there, and incessant, sincere effort should be there for the student. The student should be always thinking what is impermanent and permanent, and get attached to what is eternal and detached to the things which is changing and passing, just to be in that situation, but not caught into the trap of that. So this is the meaning. So, but very important, this is Vedanta. It does not throw the responsibility on God sitting somewhere else. Oh Lord, why don't you show me? Are you crying for that? Ah, are you really weeping for God? That God is not doing for him, he's partial, he's not helping? No, not that. Our sharp intellect. What is sharp intellect? Sattvika buddhi. The buddhi, we have buddhi, three types of buddhi. In the Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, you can find three types of buddhi is there. One buddhi which actually directs towards truth and reality. Another type which brings ego, pride, and all these characteristics which makes everyone competitive in the competitive world great. But he's a very shrewd uh, intellect. Means he can make his way out to become rich, to become something in the material world. No. And another is dull. That buddhi does not even do not know how to make money, do not know how to live in a good way, do not have the skill. The brain is too dull. So spirituality is not for that dull person. No question, get out. Second, it is also not suitable for a person who is arrogant, egotistic, and all these things go around his I, me, this, that, and getting name, fame, other things which trap them. Only the sattvika buddhi, the pure buddhi, pure intelligence will be the cause of liberation. And pure buddhi means when you become pure, what will happen to you? That's why the three qualities has been given. Which is pure means, you see, penetrating buddhi. Penetrating buddhi means what? That they will see deeper. What is the deeper? Not finding what is going on in your mind, I understand, and this mind reading. Not that. That is not intelligent mind. That is not penetrating mind. Penetrating mind is that mind which will penetrate the outer crust of name and form and touch God there. That intellect will say, yeah, don't see in the material way. It is divine. That is the penetrating. Penetrating means we get stuck always. See, our eyes are getting stuck with name and form, isn't it? Our all experiences are coming because of sound wave hitting us, creating an impression. So this is not penetrating. It is just a superficial reactions. It's called the motor nerves, activity of the nerves, nerve centers. No. But spiritually penetrating intellect means which will see the divine behind this objective universe. His buddhi is directing me. Look there. So that is the penetrating. So penetrating and expert in subtle analysis and is that which is pure. Three, the purity means this. We have to understand. It is not that intellect which can cheat others and make a big thing. No one will be able to catch him. There is also normally say, oh my God, he is a very intelligent person. What is intelligence? Sri Ramakrishna said, Sa Chaturi Chaturi. That intelligence is real intelligence. That means which liberates you from bondage, which takes us to God. So that is the verse. So that's 11th verse then. We read together. Upadesha kramo Rama. Upadesha kramo Rama. Vyavastha matra palanam. Vyavastha matra palanam. Gyaptestu karanam shuddham. Gyaptestu karanam shuddham. Shishya pragya eva kevala. Shishya pragya eva kevala. See, our gurus give us a mantra. And then whose responsibility? the disciple will have to do that practice whole life. So, what is Upadesh, this advice? O Rama, the customary method of instruction, as we say, we go to our teacher teaches us, sit this way, breathe this way, focus here, meditate this way, this is the mantra, all this they give. These advice, Upadesha Krama, it is the customary method of instruction, given by the Guru to the disciple. Why? Is merely to honor the tradition. Then you know that you are in the spiritual tradition. Tradition means what? Tradition means the path which has been traded by many, many, many people, and they reach that destination, tested and verified. That's why you follow tradition. People may say, oh, I don't need, I will do myself. Yes, you can do that, but it may take a long time. You may get misdirected because you do not know. But if the tradition you know, then in this path, yogis, saints, and sages have been produced in the following these disciplines and this procedure. Therefore, that is the tradition. To honor the tradition, you should have it. But then is the next part is the student's responsibility. What is the responsibility? The student's wisdom, his wisdom, sharp intellect, fit to discernment. This is important. Sharp intellect, the Shuddham to Karanam Kevala Shishya Pragya. Pragya means the wisdom of the Shishya. Pragya means what? The wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom means only God is everywhere. That is the wisdom. So that wisdom should, that intellect should direct that way. Our life is guided by our intellect. Whatever we think, so we become. You think 20 times, you think you are a crooked person, you become a crooked person. You think that you are a divine person, you become a divine person. You tell someone you are idiot, 10 times, you will be an idiot. And you tell someone that you are divine, you will be divine. Swami Vivekananda said that we are all divine, we are all lion, cabs, lion cab. But we have all become like a jackal, howling. Why? Because everyone says, you are stupid, you are bad, you do not know this, you are fool, you are idiot, you are this, you are bad, your character is this, you do this, you do that, you do that. And you become a mass of incompetent personality. So tell yourself, Swami Vivekananda says, if I have a child, I would have given that child training from the very birth in the cradle, I would teach him, thou art that, my child, thou art that, thou art that. Lift him to the higher entity, not to pull down that person. So, O Rama, but the student's wisdom, that means the sharp intellect means fit to discernment. That intellect which allows is, he has the capacity to discern what is absolute truth, what is relative truth, which is mundane, which is eternal, which is useful, which is unnecessary, which is not that important. If we can analyze that, look at that, how much wastage of our time can be saved. Our day, 24 hours time, if we really can discern that really what is the purpose, why I am here, what is the purpose of my being here, what is the ultimate goal. If really mind can analyze this way, then our direction will be clear. First, analyze it and decide this is permanent, this is impermanent. Who is a fool in the world who will, knowing this too clearly, will run in the path of which is unimportant? So, this is very important. The buddhi, shuddhi, it's called purification of the buddhi is needed for spiritual life. And unless this buddhi does not become pure, that does not move towards the divinity, that does not lead us towards God, that which is pure, if it does not take, then you are kubuddhi. It's called bad buddhi, which takes us to non-discrimination. And as I was saying, look at that our life every day, how much time we spend in mundane, unnecessary things. If you have to live through it, yes, you have sinned, you have done something, you have watched something. Okay, pass through it quickly. Forget and go back to your purpose of life. Is it not a wise thing to do? If you are really sincere, So this is important. We as a student of Vedanta, we should have to take this responsibility. Uh, no other trickery will work here. You will be tricked if you follow this trickery. You are very intelligent and you can do all these things, think that okay, I am following the great ideal. No, it is a wrong thing happening. So it's the responsibility of the student to create a pure mind, pure intellect, which will be capable of ascertaining first. First is ascertaining. This is nectar, this is poison. You ascertain first, because it is now mixed together. Satyanrite mithunikrite ahamidam mamaidam iti naisargiko vayam loko vyavahara. This whole phenomenal our activity or life is centered around that Satya and Anrita, truth and untruth. They get jumbled up. Mithunikrite, become totally juxtaposing one's character into the other. Ahamidam, first come I. Mamaidam, this is mine. And also, what I think that's correct, you think wrong. Where is the time to do those things? Why not focus on the purpose of life? Because your day is lost, my day is lost, it is not coming back. So it is the Shishya, responsibility of the Shishya. Guru only gives one time instruction, or you may go 10 times to question something. But you have to work hard on this point to develop that pure intellect. Does it make sense? We are in the spiritual path and we always expect vision, experience. Don't care for vision and experience. If it comes, comes, does not come, does not come. But see the change in your character. Are you trying to see more fault in others or ignore them? You focus your life is precious on the eternal. How your mind will be sharp, how mind will be penetrating if I don't practice every moment that I am seeing God in the name and form. Don't get attached to the name and form and its reactions. A person is a person means what? You are a person, I am a person. Satchidananda plus my name and my form, and name and form has an internal additional reality which is called the samskaras, my impressions. So will you focus on those three things which are mundane, or you will focus on the consciousness? Because your time, your date is more important. So this is here, the responsibility is given to us that think about that. So Mahidhar, then he says that, but the student's wisdom, that means sharp intellect, fit for discernment. That is the point. Can you discern it? What is the goal of your life? Can you penetrating Buddhi says, no, yes, I am going through this, I am living in the life, I'll have to go, but not pay much attention. While in the journey, pay attention to that unchanging absolute truth which I am seeking for. So, is the only unadulterated cause for the disciples' knowledge. Unadulterated cause for the disciples' knowledge. Knowledge of a disciple depends on this unadulterated cause. It is not mixed with jumbled up ideas. Mind is not trying to pollute you. Mind is not trying to make a mess of it and say, ha ha ha, it is spiritual. So that type of unadulterated thing, mind is capable of it. Yes.
So some spiritual teachers, or I think even Ramakrishna, used to transmit knowledge to people like through a touch or something. Is that?
Yeah.
It's different than this, but
that is that, right? that also works with the people who can receive it. Look at that. Even Ramakrishna endowed it to many people who are there. Many people, Ramakrishna is sitting and giving the same spiritual energy. Some is getting totally absorbed and some are pushing each other. Hey, how long? Get out. Get a fresh air in the Ganga. So which one to take? So we should have some capability to absorb that. Even you radiate spirituality, I will not be able to grasp it if my mind is not sharp and understand what is happening and what is my goal. Where I am, if I am focusing only the only external, meaning I am not focusing in the internal. And if it is not internal, you will not catch these finer impulses, finer things which is happening. So Ramakrishna gave so much, but how? All the direct disciples, I mean, look at that. Today is our Swami Akhandanandaji's birthday. Swami Akhandananda, who started the relief work in our Ramakrishna order first, about 10, 12 famine-stricken Muslim girls, boys, he was in wandering days and found something, and he started with them, giving up his own wandering life and anything for the service of such a spiritual giant. Spent his life, you will be surprised, to take care of these 8 or 10 children, to bathe them, to feed them, to cook for them, and he will not even come to Belur Math, our headquarters. He became the president of our order. And everyone is begging, Maharaj, give up this village center in Murshidabad. There is a great famine. And these orphan boys, he collected 8 or 10. And see the difference. If that attitude is not there, what is spirituality? He used to bathe these children. Because who will take care? An orphan child, child means 5, 6, 7, 8. To take care of so many children as a monk is a matter of joke. Are they trained in that way? But what he did, he used to pour water to bathe them, and he used to use the mantra what we use in our puja. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. And he's bathing with this mantra and seeing that Lord Narayana here is serving Lord Narayana. It is not a question, it is a spontaneous effort. So you see how the intellect, sharp intellect, has made him what he was. So see, what I wanted to say, all the direct disciples were there. Who understood Ramakrishna more than Vivekananda? Swami Vivekananda said in one letter, when Swami Vivekananda is trying to engage everyone in action to do the seva, the service, and everyone is complaining. Ramakrishna asked her for spiritual practice and meditation and japa. These are worldly things we have to give up. Ramakrishna taught us. And you went to the West and you are getting the Western idea and pushing upon us. They complained. Who complained? These Brahma Gyanis, they complained. And what was the response of Swami Vivekananda? You have not understood anything of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is more than that you think about. See, that's why I am saying, if you say Ramakrishna, transmitting the energy, depending on even the Brahma Gyanis, they have their different perceptions in different levels, much higher than us. What's the question of we fools? You live with a holy man. You will not be able to understand anything of that person unless you are receptive. Your mind is ready. You will see only the ugly things of that. And you destroy yourself and you don't get any benefit. Anyhow, so this is the point. So Mahidhar explained on this verse. He says on the bottom of 27, O Rama, the formalities of the Guru's instructions are only to honor the tradition, because of having strong conviction in the mind regarding the knowledge of Brahman, indicated by the instructions of your Guru in Vedanta. Thou art that, you are really the Brahman. Why you give this instruction? Is nothing else but the pure and penetrating intellect of the disciple. Realization depends on your penetrating intellect, your purity of the mind, not anything depending that Guru is giving or not giving. It said, Mahapurush Maharaj used to say, at the time of initiation, what you want, everything has been given. Now the key is in your hand. You are to work on that to open the treasure house. It has not been used for a long time. You know, some keys, if you have not used for a long time, it does not work. It does not work. Does not work. You put deep into the oil and clean it and put it like that. You do. So our mind has become like that. It is not opening. But Guru has given the key. Now open it by creating a penetrating intellect which will direct our mind to think of God, to go towards God. Without the extremely pure, very important, extremely pure, subtle intellect of the disciple, which is capable of comprehending the truth, all instructions are futile. Guru may give you 1,000 books full of instruction. It is meaningless words to a person who is not ready with a pure mind. So purity of the mind, which is capable of comprehending. Purity of the mind is what? Which is capable of comprehending the truth. That is called pure mind. And this is the core message. And otherwise, all the practices what we do, it is a wastage of time. Note 11 says, no matter how many great instructions the Guru confers, if the disciple lacks the capacity to grasp them, those instructions do not yield any result at that time. As an exceptional tree grows out of the combination of the best quality seeds and well cultivated soil, just so the spiritual tree grows out of the combined fitness of the Guru and disciple. It's a combination. Guru's instruction, Guru knows what he is teaching or directing in the right path, or Guru himself is engrossed in a confused life and he is guiding someone. That will create confusion. So Guru's and the disciples' capability, sharp intellect, pure intellect is necessary. The scriptural instructions heard by an unfit disciple, very important. It will create opposite meaning of it. If you say nose is here, if the buddhi is not shuddha, it will say here, no, it will not find nose directly here. It will go around the whole world and find nowhere nose. Ultimately, maybe after long, at the end of the life, find nose here. Crooked way, going round and round. So the scriptural instructions heard by an unfit disciple are bound to fail like a deaf man's attempt to listen to the classical music. You take a deaf person and let him enjoy the classical music. If the mind he is incapable of hearing, incapable of receiving the message, it will be just wastage of the time. That's why he is quoting that if one does not have the pure discriminative intellect, jasya pragya swayam nasti, how can the scripture avail him? Sastrang tasya karoti ki. There may be plenty of scriptures. What it will do to your life? Lochana bang bihinasya. If the person has no eyes, can a mirror show a blind person the image of his face? I have no eyes, and I'm standing before the mirror. Hey, look at your face. What shall I see? I'm blinded. I cannot see myself. So that means that is the can a mirror show a blind person the image of his face? That's why Shankara says again, Udhikarinam asaste, Viveka Chudamani says, success of a student's growth depends on what? Essentially on a qualified student. See, they're all thrashing on us, no? Guru is clear. The Guru has given the instruction, finish. That's why everyone wants to be a Guru. No? The student went to Guru's house and said, "Pahle humko Guru bana lijiye." That's the easier way. Only give advice and nothing to do. But he has done so much, he does not understand that. So it says the Shankara says, Adhikari nam asaste phalasiddhi visheshata. Success, phalasiddhi, depends essentially on qualified aspirant. And also upaya deshokaladya, time, place and other such means are but auxiliaries in this regard. Okay, the Upanishad also says that Acharyaman Purusho Veda, meaning Chandogya Upanishad. He alone feels gratified in attaining the knowledge of truth, who has received blessings from a great self-realized soul. But there is no doubt that the disciples' ability alone is primary. It is legendary in the scriptures and in the world that the instructions from a knower of truth itself generates knowledge. It may not act immediately. Those who are willing to have the effect immediate, they should have to develop this sharp intellect. If someone does, after getting mantra, after getting everything, they don't even forget the mantra even. How can one forget the mantra? If you got the initiation and mantra you are practicing every morning, at least 15, 20, 30 minutes minimum, evening, 2 times, 3 times, and you say, oh, I forgot the mantra. That means what did you do? What mantra you chanted so many years? So, I know of one, really. There is one Swami, he was a Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivananda disciple. And he was there in early young age, he got a beautiful opportunity to go to Swami Shivananda, our second president of our Ramakrishna order. And he got the mantra anyhow with mom or somebody maybe. And he is a young boy. He joined in engineering school and lived a very good earning, good this, that, and big engineer. And then ultimately, uh, he used to come to my class and being interested in studying some scriptures we are reading. And then he one day told me, I have forgotten my mantra. He was that time maybe around his 60s. And you forgot your mantra. How? You didn't do so many years? Then I said, oh, I cannot help you. I'm not incapable of doing that. So you have to go, try to find anyone. Mahapurush Shivananda disciple is still there. You can talk to them. And if they remember, or do you remember with whom you also took the mantra? Anyhow, I helped all this way. And he happened to go to one sadhu, holy monk. Not our order, he's outside the order. But anyhow, he happened to meet him. And he told that, you are Mahapurush Maharaj's disciple, I forgot all this. Who do tell me? And as soon as that monk, who was also Maharaj Shivananda disciple, he said, your mantra carries this, this, this. Then he said, wow, yeah, I got it. So, because it came from a top quality teacher, the mantra does not go away. Like a seed, you keep it here. If you keep it here, it will stay for years. After some years, if someone feels like, okay, put it in the ground. And if the fertile land is there, or it is not that fertile, it will try to sprout it away. It will take that much length of time. But if the seed is given and that is nurtured immediately in practice, then it will flourish, flourish, flourish. And that will be happening. So this is the warning that, if it comes from the self-realized soul, it has its own effect. But there is no doubt that the disciple's ability also is primary. It is legendary in the scriptures and in this world. Instructions from a knower of truth itself generates knowledge. This is very right. However, if the disciple is fully competent, he can attain knowledge suddenly, even by hearing the word of some ordinary person or of one with indirect knowledge. That means saying that knowledge can also come in some other way because of your past life's good karma. You have forgotten or lead another type of life. And suddenly you hear some sound, some voice, somebody tells something, and you get inspired and your life changes. No? Because of the past karma, it may also happen. But generally talking, it is our responsibility to practice it in such a way. So as for an example, one person may say something and those words may change the course of another life and attract him to the path of liberation. In this context, the renunciation of Lala Babu serves as a great example. So I told this story 2-3 times, but here let us read. The utterance of the daughter of a washerman residing in the roadside. What is that utterance? The day is passing by, which was spoken to somebody with a different meaning altogether. created this passion in the heart of Lala Babu. He was the landlord of Belud. In his name there is a road, Belud Math. If you go there, you will find there is a road, his name, Lala Babu Sire Road, in his name. And he renounced listening to that message. What the message? The washerwoman called her daughter, saying, "The day is passing by when will you put fire to your desires." Desires is the English translation. But Bengali word was basna. Basna and basana almost the same. Basna means that to make a paste-like thing to create the what you call the cloth, little ironing for ironing that is used in indigenous indigenous starch from the banana tree, that core of the banana tree. Anyhow, and he and Lala Babu suddenly heard this and he took it differently. And he said, "Wow, my life is going to end soon. I am so old. When shall I put fire to my desires?" One word. And he was like a towel like this, leaning on the balcony. The sun was setting. But that's all. He just walked out, not telling any word, anything. So this is the example given. It is like one person may say something and those words may change the course of another's life and attract him to the path of liberation. So these are past lives karma. So we should not wait for those things, no? But we should be working. When we get it, we should be working. That's why the scripture also says, Ashtavakra Gita, upon receiving any manner of instruction, a man of pure intellect feels that his purpose is fully accomplished. But an aspirant with an impure mind remains deep in the delusion as long as he lives. Some people don't find any importance of initiation. They think, what is that? Or they are afraid. I'll be fit. Am I fit? Am I fit? Okay, you don't be fit whole life. Remain like that, unfit for the whole life. You are fit for everything. Only for God you are not fit. Excuses. So that is the even instructions from an ignorant one will bear the right result when entering the ears of a truly competent person. Like Lala Babu was a truly competent person, some word meant for another purpose triggered the spiritual insight in that person. The secret is that although an ignorant person may be giving such instruction, he does not utter his own words, but those words emerging from the scriptures or from the great souls of realization who have passed it down in succession. They are therefore either the words of the scripture or of a person of wisdom. So there are 4 types of intellect. Now this you can remember this. This is very important. It is one type is called the stone-like intellect, rubber-like intellect, skin-like intellect, oil-like intellect. It's a very peculiar terms, no? Stone-like intellect. That means intellect, think it is like a stone. You give any idea, it does not penetrate there. Like you think you are you want to take a nail and you want to put it in a rock. What will happen? You strike it and the, the face of the nail will bend. Instead of entering, it will bend, curve back towards you. So if the intellect is so dull, so materialistic, you say anything, it will make a wrong meaning and come back this way. Not penetrate. So that is the first. Just as it is difficult for it to penetrate stone, it is impossible to make those with a stone-like intellect understanding anything. Their intellect is so gross that they cannot be by any means comprehend spiritual truths. Such people should heavily engage themselves in devotional practices. So what they do? That type of buddhi, if it does not, you don't understand the scriptures, do not understand the fineness of spirituality, start by practicing devotion, pray to God, cry, do selfless work, so that heart becomes purer and purer and purer. Then it will be giving the openness to understand deeper truth. So devotional practice, chanting the verses, japa and such other actions. By this means their mind will gradually become pure and fit to comprehend the subtle truths. First one, stone-like intellect. We are not that bad. Something is penetrating here. But second type is rubber. Rubber is elastic. A nail insert into it. Suppose you put a nail. It will be there. But you pull it out, stretch it, or release it, it will fall down. Because it does not stay there. So it catches, but it does not stay there. The second improved buddhi. What is it? The nail comes out again and the rubber resumes its original form. Similarly, there are those who understand principles as and when they are explained. When we are listening to this, we are going to satsanga. That time it says, yeah, these are good. That means it is entering a little bit. It is good. It makes sense. But as soon as we get into another activity, we forget all this. And we make the unimportant thing important and most important thing again we forget. So this is the second type of mind. They will forget the spiritual instruction as they remain under the control of desires. They became thirsty and restless for worldly enjoyments. Their intellect becomes pure only for a moment. That's a good second step development. Third step, it is like a skin-like. What is skin? And if a nail, if inserted into skin, will remain lodged as its point of entry. A skin-like intellect acts the same way. It is able to comprehend and hold as much instruction as it receives. And the D is oil-like. What is that oil-like? Oil-like intellect is that if a drop of oil is cast on water, it spreads out over the surface. And oil-like intellect behaves in the same way. One with such an intellect who listens to a little bit of teaching can consider the pros and cons from every angle and comprehend the entire concept. Such a person does not need more instructions. This type of pure intellect is certainly the best. So we have to develop that type of man which can, that buddhi which will spread everywhere and see the divine. That is the highest. The skin-like intellect is also not so bad. And by repeatedly listening to instruction, even the rubber-like intellect can also attain awakening. What then is the way out from the stone-like intellect, if someone has that? The Yoga Vasishtha mentions 4 means. What are the 4 means? Attaining the truth, depending on the competence of the student. 1. Adhyatma Yoga Adhigama, attainment of Brahman as one's own self, holy company, sadhu sangha, total renunciation of worldly desires, vasana samparityaga, and the restraining of the breath, pranayama. These are the 4 means one can develop. That's why in our spiritual instruction, all these 4 ideas are given. A little pranayama, little holy company is always emphasized. A total renunciation of the desire will come little by that process. The mind becomes pure and sharp by continuously reflecting on spiritual truth. This very important point is the responsibility, what we want. Continuously. Continuously means what? Will you not do your other duties? Yes, do. But when you get a moment, instantly put your mind in this analysis. Instantly you think of God. When your duty is over or the work is done, immediately, instead of thinking other thoughts, just to think about God, the divinity, or the Brahman, Atman, whatever you say. So it is a very important instruction. The mind becomes pure and sharp. How? That was our question. That is only by continuously reflecting on spiritual truths. You can take any scripture, you can take any ideas from which uplifts you. If the aspirant is unable to do this, he should associate with a holy person and practice pranayama and the life. It is step by step. First of all, continuously, if one can reflect on spiritual truth, living in the life, as soon as one gets a time, immediately, now you are all to chant Jai Sri Durga. Don't do less than 1000 every day. At least if you can do 10,000, that's best. Then, if not, at least 1000. How will you do 1000? You are working, you are busy. You can make a mind, oh, whenever I get a chance, I will repeat the mantra. No? If we make an awareness of that, what will happen? You will see, you can do more. Because you are not spending and spoiling your energy in wrong, useless talk, useless thought. So it is the awareness of that. So that is one help to enable us to do so. And holy company. Go to a holy place, holy company. The mind becomes pure. Also by pranayama, you can breathing exercise cools down the mind. That helps us to think higher. In association with the holy person, one remembers the truth again and again. Good impressions accumulate in one's understanding. Gradually the intellect becomes pure. There are those for whom, due to the impact of their bad desires, even holy company appears distasteful. Such people should practice cultivating good desires to conquer and cast off their bad tendencies. Even maybe someone is not up to that feat, that going to a holy person, he gets very much benefit. For them, he is saying that he should be try to go to, though it is distasteful, go there, listen, and then improve, conquer other things. One should practice the divine traits, thus conquer anger by forgiveness, conquer greed by seeing the defects of the objects of greed. When bad tendencies are extremely dominant, even these methods will fail to overpower them. Then the last resort is to restrain the life breath by the practice of pranayama. By restraining the breath, one should try to control the mind. Here, three-step formula has been given. No? Depending on what is the condition of our mind. If it is very pure mind, then continuously thinking of the spiritual ideal, spiritual truth. If the aspirant is unable to do that, then he can go to the holy company. And in the holy company, even it does not change this, then we do the pranayama and other practice, so that breath control leads to one, to the other, to the other, to the other. Now the aforementioned subject is restated again. This verse is a repetition of the same idea of verse number 11. Na shastroir napi guruna, na shastroir napi guruna, drishyate parameshwaraha, parameshwaraha, drishyate satmanaivatma, drishyate swatmanaivatma, swaya sattasthaya dhiya, swaya sattasthaya dhiya. Meaning is 32. The Supreme Lord Ishvara is realized neither by the study of many scriptures nor by having a guru. The aspirant experiences the truth of the self, capital, with the help of his own pure sattika intellect. See, this is the conclusion. By the students having a pure mind, sattika mind, that type of mind, with the help of that, one can realize the divine. That means emphasis, what to do, how to improve our character, how to improve our capacity to enter into the realm of spirituality by purifying the mind, purifying the intellect. Only one capable of reflection can attain the knowledge of the self. This is the inner meaning of the verse. And in the Mandukya Upanishad says that the realization of the self is unattainable by means such as study, elucidation, repeated listening, intellectual grasping, the meaning of several scriptures, and so forth. In truth, one's own grace is the primary means to attain to the self-knowledge. So these are not necessary? Yes, these are necessary to purify the mind, And the purified mind then will help us. Everything is good, but we have to know where we stand and how to move towards the ultimate truth. Note 13 says the Guru is merely the helper. That's why Ramakrishna said, who is Guru? Guru is like matchmaker. Guru only is just connects you with God. And now you have to act on that to be deep in relationship with God or being one with. The disciple has to put into practice the instruction of the Guru. And other point says the self-effort of aspirant alone is the key. In this context, Shankaracharya has said in the verse in 53 to 58 before that. We can refer to that in your book. So, that is again put upon us the responsibility that we the students have to do that for our own benefit, understanding where we are and to study. Everything is important, but more is the self-purification of the mind. Purification, purification, purification. That's why Christ said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. What is the pure? Pure is that mind which inspires us to think about God, who pushes us towards God. And then Holy Company helps us, Scripture helps us. You're doing little breathing exercise under a good teacher's instruction helps us. Or chanting helps us. Prayer helps us. Repetition of the mantra helps us. So whatever, but understand, to create a taste for God and distaste for other things is our goal. That, and not to reject the day-to-day life. We will have to live as doing our duties, but to put emphasis, where to put emphasis. Sarve api eva kala jantoho. Sarve api eva kala jantor achantoho. Anabhyasena nashyati. Anabhyasena nashyati. Yam अज्ञान कलात्मता यम अज्ञान कलात्यंता यं अज्ञान कलात्यंता शकृत जाता विवर्धते शकृत जाता विवर्धते यं ज्ञान कला अज्ञान नहीं यं ज्ञान कलात्यंता यं ज्ञान कला अत्यंता सकृत जाता अभिवर्धते सकृत जाता अभिवर्धते. All human potential is destroyed by not practicing those traits. All our potentiality, we have potentiality to realize God in all of us. Swamiji says, manifestation of the divinity, potential divinity. It is already there with us. But all human potential is destroyed. Destroyed by what? By not practicing these traits. We are not careful that we are not practicing these holy traits of character building, changing, character changing way of living. No. So it is the major barrier for spiritual growth that it is not practicing. However, that means we don't prefer or choose to practice this. That's why Raja Maharaj, Brahmananda and others will say, practice, 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 practice. Guru has given the mantra, practice it and make the life what you are to attain. So, however, if but once a spark of that knowledge arises, suppose, it will go on growing steadily. We do not know what is God. We do not know what is God's joy. We only talk, talk, talk. And we don't are serious about our transforming the life. We try to engage ourselves in trying to see the faults, what is going on, what Trump is today told, yesterday said, this morning, this afternoon. It is useless. You cannot make a fathoming anything out of that. It will go on like that. And we are befooled by that. And day and night, if we go around that, then where is our time for thinking of our real purpose of life? We should have to live in this situation, but how much? Attention should be focused differently. That's why so the all human potential which we have, we can realize God here and now. That potential that is destroyed. Who is destroying that? It's destroyed by no one destroying, by my lack of practice. Practicing those traits, good traits. Remembering God, repeating mantra, feeling what is non-essential, what is essential. All these types of instruction we get it to forget that and not practice. However, but by God's grace, by little practice, even once one gets a glimpse of that realization, that person may be again swayed away into the world, but will come back because he has his own experience. So, so one spark of that experience, knowledge, it will go on growing steadily because it will attract us. It will pull us in that direction. To get a glimpse of that truth is very important. That's why. Note says, it is well known that all knowledge fades away with lack of practice. Say really everything. Suppose, which not? Suppose you have learned music and you have not practiced for 6 years. What will happen? Your voice will not respond. You cannot play the harmonium. So it's practice. In any skill of life, someone is a dancer, didn't dance for 7, 8, 10 years. He's a good dancer, but forgot. She will not be like a novice, but she will not be able to do the best of her. But one practices. So in someone is a mathematician. He gives up mathematics. Many people change their profession, no? And they don't think about those professions. So that fades away. The knowledge which is there fades away. So that's why intellectual knowledge, because it is all intellectual knowledge. So the knowledge of which arises from the Vedantic instruction, it is unlikely to get destroyed. Other knowledge can come, which has come can go. But this knowledge of the Atman or Brahman, once got, will not get out because that is the reality. These all other knowledge are superficial. It may come and go, come and go, come and go. It does not instantly annihilate all bondage. At some future time, it grows rightly and produces the fruits of liberation. Once the unfavorable enjoyments are over, Vedantic instruction previously heard will arise in the memory and lead the aspirant forward in the spiritual path. In general, everyone in this world is only a seeker of liberation because everybody desires unobstructed supreme bliss and total annihilation of sorrow. Everyone wants, who not? A person in the street, a person a king, a person a millionaire, a person who has less education, who has high education, accomplished, non-accomplished, everyone have this desire to have endless joy and annihilation of all sorrows. Nevertheless, while looking for happiness from worldly objects, people lose their way. That is why they feel themselves unhappy, happy or unhappy, while facing many knocks and blows of life. Even if the Vedantic truths are told to such a person, though that may appear to be futile and fruitless at that time, that is never totally wasted. Some other time they will bear fruit. That's why it is said, Gita says, Salpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. Salpam means alpa. A little of the practice of the spiritual disciplines does not get in waste. He said, Salpam apyasya dharmasya trayate takes away mahato bhayat. Great fear of death and difficulties, they can go away. So we have to practice. So that is the emphasis today. All the 3 verses taught us that we can develop this self exercise to do more focused practice. And Guru's instruction is there, traditional thing to guide us in the royal path, but purification of the mind, pure mind, Shuddha Buddhi, pure Buddhi is necessary. Okay? Anything, anyone? Already 5 minutes over, but another 2-3 minutes.
The very famous line from the Gita where Arjuna tells Krishna, I might not have the staying power for this. I feel myself like a fleeting cloud in the sky, chased by winds. And Krishna says, even the slightest effort
Right, yeah.
never goes.
Yeah, right. Chinno abhramivo nashati. This practice, when it is done, will that like a cloud, when blast of wind comes, the accumulated cloud which is going to pour rain, gets all splashed away. Will that our karma, whatever little we have done, good, spiritual life, will be destroyed? No. It is not like that. In spiritual life, everything is retained. Permanent account, it goes. There is no wastage from that. No one can take away that permanent money from your permanent investment. But it may be covered again, and you may be few days may forgot about that, and one golden opportunity will come to start from there again. So if we are careful, we will get the better benefit. Thank you. So tomorrow will be our gospel class, but I don't know that anyone will be able to come from a distance. But still, tomorrow is a film, what you call tech, in this our uh, parking lot and in front of the temple, not inside. We'll have our class here because so many people will be around for their film. Uh, it's on, they call it is on what? Mm, Diwali means special feature, small film maybe. So please come to this door. Main door will be locked. Come to this door, and we'll have. They will start from noon time onward preparation, and big trucks and things and will come. As it is a big procedure. But anyhow, we will. They will do their business. We will do our business. Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanam Astu